Love, simplicity, humility, the triune need of man in his daily contact with God. All cannot behold that divine face, for no man hath seen God, but the brilliance of the dazzling light will warm us with its effulgence, and the glance of the beloved eyes, behind the veil, will rejuvenate the heart and mind of man in his search for the truth. For remember, my children, that nothing but the clarity of truth shall lighten the way to God. Search for it, long for it, then hold it clasped in hands of love and place it as a meet gift before the feet of the Eternal One, my brother Arhura, Lord of the Amethyst Solar Plane, the seventh, known to you as King Arthur, will take the pencil in my place, to reveal to you the truths of the so-called Arthurian legends.
The Knights of the Round Table, Part 3 of 7, The True Life of King Arthur. Ye do know that it is said that my round table doth be kept in safekeeping in the town of Wycombe, or, as ye call it, Winchester. This is not my table, but one made in copy 150 years after the order ceased to exist, for it was made for an order of crusaders, who emulated my order. Do you know aught of my table? It was carven in one piece, from the bole of a great oak, and was much stained with the juice of the walnuts to darken it. The surface was round, and yet that circle had 12 facets, and on each facet was carven the name of my knight who sat in that place. Thus, from time to time, a name would be erased, and a new one carven thereon. A great central column did support the table, carven to represent 2 dragons intertwined, for men did oft call me the Dragon of England, and quot of polish upon the surface was there none, for it was my desire that each of my knights, in touching it, should leave therein some of his personality. Thus did the oak absorb love and hate, greed and beneficence, chivalry and envy. The table now lies buried deep in the hill of the sacred Graal at Avalon, this office being performed for me by Benevere, after my passing. Full oft did I pay visit to Avalon, to sink in homage on the spot where lies the beloved Graal. Ye must remember, that I knew full well of this, for did I not place it there myself a full 1,000 years before? And, O my people, ye must try to realize that I am solar in my being, and thus know of all matters on this and other planets. To continue with my earth life, the days were full, and the years passed in full endeavor to prosper my country, and to stem the tide of savage hordes of heathens who pillaged the land. Full many were the battles I waged in compulsion, in my years as king, and yet my soul loathed battle, and ever sought peace and godliness. It was my intention, as king, to raise the youth of the country to an hitherto undreamed state of chivalry, to enable them to reverence women, and to succor the downtrodden, but above all to serve their God, and to honor their king and the vows made to him. Ever does treachery wait on kings. 2 failed me, whom I loved, one next to my God. I do hold no blame for my queen, for she was young and of rare beauty, and I was solemn and old in her fair eyes. She ne'er loved me, but all her heart was set on Lancelot, whom I, in error, sent to bring her to me. No man can know the heart and ways of a woman, but this had I for my comfort after she fled me, that she did have a deep reverence for me as king. I would not, e'en could I, write details of this happening, which left me bereft. Perchance had there been offspring of our union, the tale would have been different. The great traitor at my board was mine own sister's son, Modreth, and never had man blacker heart, nor ever was one so filled with jealous spleen. Marlon did warn me oft, before he passed, that I should pass through the hand of mine own, and quot, ye read in other books of the tourneys, and jousts of Arthure's court, but heed them not, for seldom did we sink to such. I ever made effort to keep my court pure, clean, and God love us all, and save in dire need, we neither warred nor made mock war, and quot, for this did my queen loathe our court, she being accustomed to gaiety and song. And yet, methinks, the name of Arthure still stands as a symbol of chivalry and as a worker for God. The presence of the sacred Graal within my realm did sustain me, and did make fair beauty of the land. Now do ye see why ever is the West Country the most beauteous part of England? Little have I spoken as yet of my knights, save only the traitorous one. I would that ye should know them as I do. Galahad have I already described to ye, of his beginnings did none know, strange were the tales which circulated anent him. I will tell ye, he had no beginning here, but was placed on the earth, materialized as ye call it, at the age of 16 years, and he became my knight at 18 years. For the purpose of manifesting the power of the Graal was he placed here, and ever was deeply loved by me and his friends. He and Magran were destined, through their love for one another, to carry the Graal force to mankind. Percival was my friend, too, and ever impetuous, but not altogether dependable, pure of mind, yet weak in character. Hector was mine uncle, grey-headed, ruddy of cheek, he loved me in his way, yet was I jealous of me. Bores was a gallant knight, a great fighter, dark of hair and countenance. Lancelot, the golden youth, was, methought, my friend, and now do I know that he is, lean of face, with dark and piercing eyes, his hair like ripe corn, was he who loved my queen. Hector was small and fragile, yet with a heart of gold, and a deep reverence for women. Peleus, the giant, towered o'er his brethren in height, black-haired and bronzed with sun and wind. Benevere, sturdy and stockily builded, grey of hair and eye, was my true friend, the first mate of my knights. Gawain, the fighter, was a man ever impetuous in upholding the traditions of the order, dark of hair and eye, lean of face and with a mouth of a tightness. Elfric was my good friend, one of the oldest of my knights. The greying hair, the sallow cheek, and the eye of an intense violet colour, were all well known around Caerleon and Camelot. Piers, my boyhood friend, was quiet and unassuming, dubbed by the others as the Mouse, for his speechlessness, but fair of countenance with a woman's beauteous eyes and mouth. Modroth was never a member of the Round Table. It is not my intention to write of the battles in which I fought. I would not dwell on the slaughter of men. The world, methinks, should hide its head in shame at all it hath witnessed. The souls of warriors cry aloud for wars to cease. O England, England, when wilt thou remember that great saying of thine, the pen is mightier than the sword? Full oft have I stood in bygone times, I, and e'en now, upon the summit of the Tor at Avalon, and have gazed with tear-dimmed eyes upon familiar scenes of ancient battles, have heard the spirits of my friends calling, Sire, why has our Round Table company lived and died in vain? No, I will not give you any account of battles. The order of the Graal, which I will form anew, shall continue to speak of truth and chivalry through the land. For has not your great poem written, the old order changeth, yielding place to new, and God fulfills himself in many ways. Thus let it be. The new order shall continue my unfinished work to the greater glory of God. Ad majorem Dei gloriam. Escobar still lives, grasp it in both hands, and use it in a righteous cause. To be continued.